Okay, there's a little energy today. So then the internet finds it, feels it. So then it might stop. It was perfect. It kind of stopped early just to kind of say hi. There's something going on. There's something going on. So we're starting all over with the words. The energy is already activated. That is kind of the wisdom path, the path of energy, which we are activating now. Wisdom is kind of like the opposite of manipulation, so to speak. It's the opposite of desperation. It's opposite of self-righteousness. It's opposite of ecstasy or euphoria, like being kind of spaced out, like all these things we can the old paths have kind of done that we kind of are have been entrenched in the path of survival, which is kind of like that's where like we use these kind of more heavier energy to kind of get to certain awakenings in kind of yogic or more Egyptian like past. They talked about oneness. They were using kind of you became one with your teacher, you became one with God, you became one. It's like kind of a way of opening your mind up. So it's like more from the mind gate where we kind of focused on the light. Often people kind of see this as like the light workers or the light path of light. But then that kind of came in, opposition to like the body gate, which is often the path of darkness, the path of power, which has also existed. But in both these, you kind of have to like eat right and you kind of have to do right and you kind of have to like, it's a path of desire. Like when you desire or you manipulate, it is kind of using force, using desire. So a lot of times when we are on this path, we will kind of realize that we're not using desire, we're not using sadness, which is the kind of the middle route or the heart gate, but we have to kind of release the sadness because the sadness is the kind of the closed heart, and that can be used as kind of a force to kind of move away from that heaviness and then into the body or into the heart or into the mind. But here we're kind of moving into the wisdom. So, every talk I do, I might put it in different ways because it is the energy that is connected. It is the energy that matters. And I sometimes talk from the mind or from the heart or from the body or from the being, from the body being, where the wisdom kind of comes in. And what is the wisdom? It is the kind of the when you suddenly have surrendered to anything, there's wisdom in everything, but it is kind of like that inherent wisdom. And it is that inherent ease that is wherever where you suddenly there's a flow, there's a just a naturalness. And it's not rushed and it's not hyper, it's not aggressive. And you will kind of have to test it out and see it because the wisdom has to be seen. You know, a little baby can be wise, but the baby is not so necessarily self-aware of this path. That's where the wisdom teacher comes in to make you aware of what's going on so that you can see when you are in the mind or in the heart or in the body, and when you start moving back through the soul and into being, and where you can kind of, instead of chasing after, you get knocked down or relax, and then there is energy moving through you, moving you, and that's when you become the captain of a ship, that you are carried by energy. So this path has not been of words, because a lot of times just the Buddha or the Jesus, they kind of were talking about the same, but they were talking more entrenched in the masculine of the old ways. So they were talking about, had glimpses of something, but they had to use just old words as well, because that was what was needed at that time. Well, now there's a whole different opening, so we can start receiving the energy in a different way, more embodied, so to speak. Then that will require patience and perseverance, and a willingness to not know how this is going to go. That something inside of you, something kind of ancient, something wise, something, your being kind of comes in and be like, there is something that just says, yes, let's continue. I want to continue here, even if I can't use desire or anger or righteousness or happiness or desire or sadness or my eating or my doing, because this is more the non-doing where things just flow, kind of. So we're kind of talking about this new path, which kind of has is hidden in all paths. So every teacher, every text or techniques that you have ever heard, there is ease within all. So no one can be lost or not where you're supposed to be. In every place you can find this within. And as it is within, it can become without. And that is where the energy starts moving through, and you start seeing it manifesting in your life. So that is kind of the teaching that we are bringing about. And we kind of came, well, I guess it was supposed to be live on YouTube and on Patreon, but we're going to step into the second part. If you want to come and go deeper with us and get your answer asked or answered, and the deeper guidance as we go into those deeper levels. You understand, sometimes we're up and yes, I like this, but then we actually have to go down. You will get knocked down from your ego, knocked down from your survival instincts and all this stuff down. We have to delve down, we have to scuba dive down into the waters and look at what's hidden there. And then we start releasing those inner patterns, those inner hidden things that can just be locked away for most people, as we are a little universe in itself, but for most it's just locked away. But here we're kind of seeing that this we can release all this, and then we can grow into this body of wisdom that is inherent in all, but that few actually is allowing to activate, because it requires guidance, requires trust, and it requires faith. And as you hear this, it gives you hope. So it activates hope for maybe we all are supposed to be right here and we can enjoy this. When you hope, then you're like, oh, yes, I see that I've been fine before and I'm going to be fine and I trust. And then daring to open that, daring to ride that wave, you have to dare to just stand. You have to dare to stand balanced. You have to dare to be secure on your wading board or your surfboard. So you have to act as if if you don't dare to just claim this space, then you don't really dare to hope because really be like, I hope it's going to be good, but whatever it is, I hope. I still hope. I don't know. I hope. I can't know. I hope. So it is wishful thinking, so to speak. But with that saying, if you're new and you're watching this on YouTube or whatnot, like, subscribe, and follow and share. And if you want to go deeper, follow me into the Patreon and the sanctuary there, and I will see you there. And everybody else, I'll see you in a second or two.